Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Clay from Clay's Collections, and we are back again with another Goodwill Bins Haul. Sorry, I'm knocking things over here. And I found some great stuff, some, of course, great books as always, couple first editions that have some good value to them. So excited about that. I tell you, the bins are one of the best places for me to find some great first editions. I don't know why. Our bins are good. And again, I went this Friday afternoon. I went later in the day after the bins have already been all picked over. And so I sorted through, but found some great stuff. So I'll share that with you. Also stopped on a couple garage sales on the way home. So only picked up a couple items there, but I'll show you those as well in this funnel video. So let's just get right into it. One of the books I picked up, and a lot of these are, children's or young adult style books. How to draw and paint fantastic dragons. Dragons are always a popular subject. Again, this is not an old book, but people love dragons. People love art, and graphic novels are, a big thing nowadays. So I thought that would do really well. I got to figure out where I have room to put all this stuff. I picked up an old classic children's book, Wise Dog. And this is one of the books that has some good value to it. This is a first edition of The Little Prince. It's a first edition by Harcourt Brace. This was published originally in France, and there's a French edition by a different publisher. They also published it in English, but it's a different publisher. But this is the first Harcourt Brace edition. And one of the ways you can tell that it still has its dust jacket on, which is great, but the price has been clipped, so more than likely this was given as a gift. There is an inscription in the beginning. But here's one of the keys, is when you look at the page after the title page, like on this particular book, because there's a lot of different editions out there, a lot of different values, and it gets kind of confusing. But one of the things you can tell is here's the copyright date, 1943. And if you look at some of the editions out there, they'll have an ISBN number. Well, ISBN numbers were not used in 43. So those are later editions. And I believe this was reprinted like in 1965. So like 20 years later. And those are the ones with the ISBN numbers. So this one does not have the ISBN numbers. One of the keys to it being an early edition, or the first edition. So, and the dust jacket actually is in pretty good overall condition. It does have a couple tears along the spine, but otherwise pretty clean. This is $25 to $30 for that little book. And I gotta tell you, one of the bins that I go to in Chaska, Minnesota, when I was still going there full time, they went through this thing about a year ago where they would used to be if it was a heavy object, they'd charge you $2, because if it was over 4 pounds was kind of their rule. But then they changed their rules and you had to weigh everything, so they didn't give you a discount anymore. So like if you buy, like I would find some cast iron bookends, well, I'm not going to pay $20 for those when you weigh them. So apparently most people weren't paying that either, because now all of a sudden, last 2 times I've gone, they just kind of guess at a price. So I paid $8 for everything that I got at the bins today. She goes, oh, the stuff to weigh, I'll give all that to you for $1 and $6 for the books. I'm like, okay, so I'm okay with it. I'm saving money, but they must have found they were not selling nearly as much stuff by being strict on their poundage rules. Hop and Pop, another classic. I like keeping, the classic books. Little Toot. This again is a first edition, and this one is actually in really good condition, 1969. There's a crease in the back. I didn't notice that before, but there's no writing or anything else. A little bit of shelf wear, but great little book. Back to BC. Loved these when I was a kid. Al Cap. This one actually is in excellent condition. It doesn't look like it was really, maybe only read once. Nice paperback edition. This book fascinated me, and that's why I grabbed it. It's a unique book, and it doesn't have a cover. It's got, you know, like the posts to hold it together. So it's 2-hole punched. So I don't know if somebody made this, which I think they probably did. It was probably a limited edition printing is what it was. Somebody made it for like a class. You know, maybe a professor commissioned it. I don't know. But it's called a picture study, picture analysis. And there's no cover or back to it. And what it is they attach this little picture on one page, and then it describes all the attributes of it on the other page. So it says the title of it is The Madonna of the Chair. Santi Raphael is the artist. He was from Florence, and he's the Italian school from 1483 to 1520. And then it gives you a description of the whole painting. And it does that for, I don't know, quite a few paintings in here. Let's see, does it list how many? Yep, 60 paintings. So I thought, oh, what a great way to learn some of the great masterpieces of art. So, and again, it didn't cost me very much, so why not? Picked up this one, 5th anniversary of the complete book of beer drinking games. Alcohol-related books sell really well for me. I sell at the antique store, which is called the Pink Elephant in downtown Hopkins. And so I pick them up when I find them. So stuff like this, again, I don't, you know, I'll put $5 on here, but you know somebody's going to want to buy that. And then the Doonesbury series, here's another Doonesbury book. There was a number of them, but this one was, I only pick them up when they're in really good condition, and this one is in excellent condition. But I love the title. Sir, I'm worried about your mood swings. I thought that was great. The other thing I pick up, and I sold a lot of last year, were Halloween related or witches, hauntings, those type of related books. And I did really well for Halloween. So this one is Beware, This House is Haunted. This is actually a young adult reader book. But even the cover is awesome, you know. So if you're decorating for Halloween, it'd be one to could use for that. Another classic, Doctor Who. I remember my mom reading these when I was little. I think she was reading them. I know Dark Shadow, she had a series of those. I think she had one of this too. Now, this is not a first edition. This is printed in 1984, reprinted multiple times. But still, it's a great book, classic. And I like having odd books. I never heard of this one, the O.J. Joke Book. There you go. It's all about O.J. Simpson and different jokes. So, then I picked up this one, I Dare You, and it's by Dan Forth. He was founder and former chairman of the board of the Ralston Purina Company from St. Louis, Missouri. Privately printed in March of 1965. So he commissioned this printing. So it's like a leadership book that he put out. What I've dared, I've willed, and what I've willed, I'll do, by Melville. So there are different dares in here to improve your leadership skills. Interesting book. Oh, I found these two old Currier and Ives postcards prints. They're actually just prints, they're not postcards. In one of the books I was looking through, so I just pulled those out. Here's another one on the Halloween theme. John Belair's Mystery featuring Anthony Munday, The Mansion in the Mist. So, and then I found an early edition of Bambi. Now this one has been rebound. This is a library edition, a library binding as well, but this edition is from 1929. And the pages themselves are in great condition. But again, it has been rebound. Still got some nice look to it, but it's been well read. It looks like May 8th of 2000 was the last time this book was checked out at this community school in Iowa. But still, really good condition given its age. Lust for Life, This is a novel based on the life of Vincent van Gogh. I typically don't pick up novels, but since it has a direct relation to a famous artist, I thought it could have some value. And it still has its dust jacket, so again, not a lot of value. And my average on cost is, when I buy them from the bins, is 50 cents each. So that's, I figure 50 cents a book, and that's what I get. Oh, another Halloween related one. The Big Book of Halloween, Creative and Creepy Projects for Revelers of All Ages. So this is like a craft book, different projects to do with your kids. I thought that could be a good Halloween item. This is the other one. This is the first edition of The Greatest Salesman in the World. This one is in really good condition with the dust jacket. The dust jacket does have a little tear up there, but otherwise in great condition. So this is a $20 book. But never overlook these, some of these, the value of some of these books. It's surprising. I did pick up this one too, Indian Art of the Americas. And this one, two reasons. One, I'm going to work on repairing it because it's not in very good shape. The front cover has detached from this book, but also it's so cool because it lists the different art styles based on the region of Native American art and pottery, which I think is really cool. So here's another fabulous picture. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? So yeah, so that's why I picked that one up. And the other one I picked up was this awesome Victorian photo album. And when I first found it, it was just a cover. It didn't have the inside pages. And then I found the inside pages. So, and again, this is going to be a project because the inside pages are loose. But it still has its wonderful clasp on it. So it's missing the other two straps that hold it down, but no, that's okay. Now I get it. This is the clasp to hold it closed. These were to hang it on something, so then you could flip the photos down like this to display your photos. So it's a wall hanging Victorian photo album. And this is an early form of plastic with this graphic of the little cherub on it. It's really cool. So can't wait to do a little work on that. Okay, look at this frame. Beautiful. This is a metal frame, and this is actually made in Italy. It says right at the top. I don't know if you can see it right there. I've never seen one of these in this size. I've seen a lot of the smaller ones. They're usually oval, you know, but never one this large and in charge, if you will, for a metal frame. I was like, sweet, and I love these ornate frames. So that's one of the reasons I grabbed that one. Super. And then after, again, these bins had been gone through by almost everybody in the building besides me. And then I go through and I go to the one, because I was waiting to see if they were going to trade out the book bins, but they didn't. But I found a girly candle, pumpkin head, and then I found a matching one. They were just sitting in there. Nobody wanted them, so I took them. These I'll sell down at the Pink Elephant for like $7, $8 each. But they're very popular during Halloween, so that was good. All right, let's see. A couple more items from the bins. Found this little personal creamer, and it actually says it's T&R Boot, which I've never heard of them before, and it says floral shape. So I'm not sure what that's all about. I haven't looked anything up. Picked up a little Hot Wheel. I sell these. I have a little children's area where I have to sell books and small toys. So I picked up this little Hot Wheels fire truck. Found this at a garage sale for $1. You don't find Shamrock glass stuff very often at all. I've never seen this one before, so I was excited. It is flash painted green, but I thought it was pretty cool. So for $1, couldn't pass it up. And then Mr. Wild Kitty, found him at a garage sale for $1, obviously. Couldn't pass him up. He is signed on the back, so whoever painted him took pride in their art and did it. So She said this has been sitting in their closet for, not closet, the garage for years. So her mom would be very happy that I bought it. I thought for $1, weird, unusual stuff like that sells really well at the Pink Elephant. So that's why I had to pick it up. That's our haul for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll catch you next time.